During the 1920s, Oppenheimer remained uninformed on worldly matters. He claimed that he did not read newspapers or popular magazines and only learned of the Wall Street crash of 1929 while he was on a walk with Ernest Lawrence 6 months after the crash occurred. He once remarked that he never cast a vote until the 1936 presidential election. From 1934 on, he became increasingly concerned about politics and international affairs. In 1934, he earmarked 3% of his annual salary, about $100, equivalent to $2,200 in 2022, for 2 years to support German physicists fleeing Nazi Germany. During the 1934 West Coast waterfront strike, he and some of his students, including Melba Phillips and Bob Serber, attended a longshoremen's rally. Oppenheimer repeatedly attempted to get Serber a position at Berkeley but was blocked by Birge, who felt that one Jew in the department was enough. Oppenheimer's mother died in 1931, and he became closer to his father who, although still living in New York, became a frequent visitor in California. When his father died in 1937, leaving $392,602, equivalent to $7.99 million in 2022, to be divided between Oppenheimer and his brother Frank. Oppenheimer immediately wrote out a will that left his estate to the University of California to be used for graduate scholarships. Like many young intellectuals in the 1930s, Oppenheimer supported social reforms that were later alleged to be communist ideas. He donated to many progressive causes that were branded as left-wing during the McCarthy era. The majority of his allegedly radical work consisted of hosting fundraisers for the Republican cause in the Spanish Civil War and other anti-fascist activity. He never openly joined the Communist Party USA, CPUSA, though he did pass money to leftist causes by way of acquaintances who were alleged to be party members. When he joined the Manhattan Project in 1942, Oppenheimer wrote on his personal security questionnaire that he had been a member of just about every Communist Front organization on the West Coast. Years later he claimed that he did not remember saying this, that it was not true, and that if he had said anything along those lines, it was a half-jocular overstatement. He was a subscriber to the People's World, a Communist Party organ, and he testified in 1954. I was associated with the communist movement. From 1937 to 1942, Oppenheimer was a member at Berkeley of what he called a discussion group, which was later identified by fellow members Haakon Chevalier and Gordon Griffiths as a closed, secret unit of the Communist Party for Berkeley faculty. The FBI opened a file on Oppenheimer in March 1941. It recorded that he attended a meeting in December 1940 at Chevalier's home that was also attended by the Communist Party's California State Secretary, William Schneedeman, and its treasurer, Isaac Folkoff. The FBI noted that Oppenheimer was on the executive committee of the American Civil Liberties Union, which it considered a Communist Front organization. Shortly thereafter, the FBI added Oppenheimer to its custodial detention index for arrest in case of national emergency. Oppenheimer's party membership, or lack thereof, has been debated. Almost all historians agree he had strong left-wing views during this time and interacted with party members, but it is disputed whether he was officially a member of the party. At his 1954 security clearance hearings, he denied being a member of the Communist Party but identified himself as a fellow traveler, which he defined as someone who agrees with many of communism's goals but is not willing to blindly follow orders from any Communist Party apparatus. In August 1943, He volunteered to Manhattan Project security agents that George L. Teton, whom he did not know, had solicited 3 men at Los Alamos for nuclear secrets on behalf of the Soviet Union. When pressed on the issue in later interviews, Oppenheimer admitted that the only person who had approached him was his friend Hakong Chevalier, a Berkeley professor of French literature, who had mentioned the matter privately at a dinner at Oppenheimer's house. Brigadier General Leslie R. Groves, Jr., the director of the Manhattan Project, thought Oppenheimer too important to the project to be ousted over this suspicious behavior. On July 20, 1943, he wrote to the Manhattan Engineer District, "In accordance with my verbal directions of July 15, it is desired that clearance be issued to Julius Robert Oppenheimer without delay irrespective of the information which you have concerning Mr. Oppenheimer. He is absolutely essential to the project.